Hey guys, RTT back here for another video. Guys, today what I want to talk about is going to go ahead and be the Surface Duo 3. What do I want to see on it? How do I want to see it improved? All that kind of good stuff, guys. So starting off right away, I will say with the Duo 3, because I do truly believe there will be a Duo 3. Once Android 12L does go ahead and release later on next year, I do believe that will go ahead and propel the foldable phone market even more. You got already, Samsung saying they're going to sell 10 million units of the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and slash Flip 4, and then you also have got, of course, some other companies are coming out with their affordable devices, right? So I think Microsoft will continue to push this phone, especially because the Duo 2 actually did pretty dang good when it came to sales. Yes, it didn't do as good as Duo 1 because Duo 1 was so hyped up and ended up being a failure. With that being said, though, starting off right away, I will say from Microsoft's point of view here, you got to get that price tag down a tad bit. And I know, again, like I said, from the Duo 1 to the Duo 2, they actually increased it by $100. If you can get that price tag down even more, because you already know that Samsung's going to keep their price tag set at $17.99, right? That's 100% guaranteed $17.99 for their price tag. So if you can get that even farther down, you can make this work so much better for the Duo 3. And I will say overall wise, I know some people are going to absolutely hate the fact that I'm talking about Duo 3, but it's going to happen. Microsoft's not giving up on this, trust me. They made a Duo 2. They're making this a flagship device. So starting off with a way price tag. Second off, you got to release this device with Android 12L. Can't be Android 11, can't be Android 12. It have to be 12L. The reason why is because 12L is optimized for foldable type devices. Now, there's already been confirmed that Google is working on Android 12L, not only for the Z Fold series, but also the Surface Duo. So we're going to see sometime next year Android 12L on this device. Now, if Microsoft doesn't give it to us on this device and then promises it on the Surface Duo 3, which based on the track record, it's definitely that is a possibility, I will be highly disappointed. And I think the Duo 3 would actually do a lot worse. I think what they need to do is they need to start going ahead and pushing out that update. We're going to get probably March, April of next year. Push out the update of the Duo of Android 12L to the Duo 2, and then people are going to start using it, start loving it, and then they're going to go ahead and buy the Duo 3. Now, next thing, trade-in bonus. You got to give us better than $500 trade-in bonus. Now, the good thing about this is, the reason why it was $500 trade-in bonus, by the way, guys, was because the price tag simply came down to around $600 for the Duo 1. So they kind of couldn't give us that original $1,000 price tag for the trade-in bonus because people would just buy the phone, the Duo 1, trade it in, and then sell the phone to make money. So with that being said, because I do not believe the Duo 2 will go down in price tag, I think it will stay up at the current price tag it actually is at. That means, of course, we're probably going to see a big trade-in bonus, probably up to $1,000 trade-in bonus for the Duo 3. Now, I will say, I think that would be a good amount. That I think Samsung currently offers around $900 for the trade-in value. If you trade in the Fold 2 to the Fold 3, it's around $900 trade-in value. So I will definitely say around $1,000 would be custom to what we see out of other companies. So that is, in my opinion, the best trade-in value. If somehow, some way, if this phone is the same price it is right now, coming out in, let's say August of next year, and the trade-in value is $500, that's going to be an absolute flop. I mean, if the phone's worth $1,000 or $1,400, obviously once that new phone comes out, this one will be discontinued. You got to make the trade-in value at least $1,000. You can't make it any less than that. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, going to go ahead and be the refresh rate of the screens. So yes, right now we're currently rocking dual 90 hertz refresh rate, which to be honest, I have no issue with at all. And I will say, if you have never used 120 hertz refresh rate, you might not really understand how amazing 120 hertz truly is. And again, I'm not saying it's not game changing to a point, because most media consumption, you're just simply not get 120 hertz out of it. Most media nowadays is still running at 60 hertz, so you're not really going to see 120 hertz. With that being said, though, it's just a nice little extra functionality. If you're going to spend, let's say, for example, $1,200-$1,300 on a cell phone, you want to have the greatest and best tech inside of it, whether that is the processor, the RAM size, or of course having the ability to have 120 hertz. It's not a game changer. It's not something that's like, oh, I don't have 120 hertz, I can't use the cell phone. You can use without it, but it's a nice little additional feature. I'm not spending that much money. Give me the additional features. I know sometimes, we always say when it comes to technology, oh, that's a gimmick, or this is a gimmick, or this is a gimmick. Guess what? If I'm spending $1,400, give me all the gimmicks you can give me. I want all the good stuff, and I also want all the gimmicks, because guess what? The gimmicks are just actual features. With that being said, though, I'm hoping we see 120 hertz with that being added. Now, next thing I want to talk about is actually something I will say that they should have done with this phone, and they didn't do it. And that's include a case in the box. All right, if you're going to make us cost this amount of money on this phone, and listen, I understand the eco waste. The reason why a lot of the boxes are thinner, and a lot of people have complained, oh, I'm not getting a charger. They're cheap. They're not giving us a charger. Guys, the reason why these companies are not giving us a charger anymore is because of eco waste. What is that? Pretty much it means the eco footprint that is being caused by extra technology like chargers and cables that simply people don't need. So let's say, for example, I buy iPhones my whole entire life. I have 15 different iPhones throughout my whole entire life. Well, I probably have at least 15 different charging bricks of iPhones. So Apple says, well, we don't need to give you the 15 charging bricks of iPhones, because if we give you that, then you're probably just going to not use it, and it's going to end up in a landfill, and it's going to cause more of an eco issue. And that's why we don't get chargers anymore. That's why we don't get a lot of things. Now, I understand that concept. Cases are a different thing. Cases are important, and I get the point. They want to upsell cases, and they want people to buy cases. None of that crap, okay? You're already selling a phone for $1,500. You gotta include a case in the box. Even if it's the bumper case. With the Duo 1, we got that little bumper case, which, to be honest, I still like the bumper case. I like it better than the Duo 2 because of this whole thing right here. But even if it's a $40 bumper case, just give us a $40 case, Microsoft. You gotta give us something to protect the device, especially with how much we're spending for this device. We want to protect it. Like, we want to use your product, and we want to make sure your product isn't broken. So, like, at the same time, it's weird. Anyway, with that in mind, though, next thing I want to talk about is wireless charging. Now, wireless charging is interesting. The reason why is because we talked about it when we looked at this case right here. And the reason why is because with this case, the S Pen, or the pen cover case, it actually makes the phone very much thicker. So it actually makes this top display very thick. Now, if they gave us wireless charging, and I talked about in the video that, yes, this phone would be thicker. You have to make this phone thicker if you give us wireless charging. The reason why is because of the fact that that literally there has to be a charging coil inside the phone. So with that in mind, it would have to be one of these screens would have to be thicker because the charging coil would be on the back here. Now, is that a big deal to me? No. I know some people, they hate the fact that the Duo 2 has this camera bump, and they like the Duo 1 because it doesn't have a camera bump. So having a thicker display on one side than the other side would really just throw off a lot of people. But I will say, I think there has to be some kind of happy medium here where you can put wireless charging in this device and still have the ability to keep it as thin as it is. We see a lot of different devices very thin with wireless charging. If it comes down to the fact that it just needs to be a tad bit thicker, that even millisecond thicker, whatever, add wireless charging. That's something I think is very important. I did make a video today, a short today, talking about having a semi-wireless charging with MagSafe. But come on now, we're in 2021. We gotta have to figure out a way, Microsoft, to add wireless charging to this device. I know it's how it pretty much is there's so much crammed in this device already. It's almost impossible to add it. Make it a little bit thicker, just add wireless charging inside that device. Next thing I want to talk about is going to go ahead and be some kind of IP rating that is an IPX1. So what is IPX1? Well, IPX1 is the most generic and just overall nothing of an IP rating. It's pretty much the bottom of the barrel when it comes to IP ratings. It means that it is not dust resistant, it's water resistant to a point where if you're out in a rainstorm and your phone is like this vertically, it's not going to break. But if it's horizontally, it probably will break. So it's a really cheap way of marketing a phone as a water resistant product when it simply is not. So with that in mind, give us some kind of IP rating. Now, at the same time, I know I'm going to get the comment, well, how are you going to get an IP rating? Okay, look at this device. It has hinges. It has like different things all around. Water can seep in anywhere. Well, first off, guess what? Samsung already did it. They did it with the Z Fold 3. What they did was, it's actually a water resistance. Instead of having like normal phones have water resistance, they actually have a thing that is like a liquid that it goes over all the components and it actually makes it water resistant. So if this liquid goes on top of all the components and if water gets in, what ends up happening is it actually repels the water. So instead of it going in and like damaging the product, it actually repels the water, the liquid does, and that's how they have water resistance. They have an IPX8 on the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3. So it's possible. It's possible, okay? I don't want to hear the excuses. It's possible. All right, Microsoft, I know you're not Samsung, okay? But just figure it out, okay? Figure something out, because that's something I think that is needed with the Duo 3, especially if you want to sell this Duo 3 and be as successful as you want it to be. All right, so 4K display. So what we have on this phone right now is we have, I think it's 1440p outer displays right here. We're going to have to get for at least 4K on both displays. Currently, it is the, I don't say meta, but it is currently the issued out there that a lot of phones nowadays, flagship phones, are having 4K displays. And I think it would definitely set you apart from every other phone out there, especially with the fact that right now, you look at this phone, you're like, oh my God, this phone is so cool. But then you realize, I can't even get 4K on this phone unless I have a display port connected to the phone, connected to a monitor, and see 4K that way. I think it would be really cool to have 4K just strictly on the phone. It's not a big deal, like I said, with 120 hertz. Are you ever going to use 4K? In most situations, probably not, because of the fact that either you're streaming it or YouTube, most people don't upload 4K. But in the future-proofing the device, it would be nice to have 4K on the actual device. That would be a really cool thing. All right, so next thing and last thing I want to talk about for this video, I know I rambled a lot in this video, it's going to go ahead and be some kind of outer display, and I don't like the glance display. I know, I've talked about it many times, right? I don't like the outer glance display. I think it would be a cool concept if they did go ahead and add an outer display. Now, currently, Samsung actually filed a patent for their brand new folds coming out next year. Now, we don't know if this is the Fold 4 or if it's another Fold series they're going to be starting, or another foldable phone series they're going to be starting, but they actually have an outer display. And yes, they're pretty much copying what Microsoft has right here. They have a clamshell foldable device that folds horizontally, just like this. I showed you guys a patent video before. You can go check it out if you want to see the full details, but it looks exactly identical to the Surface Duo. And guess what? It has an outer display. The whole entire screen right here is outer display, and you can actually use it like an actual outer display, just like that, or you can open it up and you can use it as a display. It's possible. It's possible. I'm not saying it anytime, Microsoft is not doing it on purpose. But if Samsung is following a patent and always showing off a concept of what they want to do, I think it's definitely possible, and I would love to see that on the Duo 3, and I think that could really add more features to the Duo 3. So, overall, conclusion, I am excited about the Duo 3. I think Duo 3 can be very successful. I think with Android 12L, a lot of these foldable phones can get even more market recognition and be even more successful in the market. But I think it's going to take a lot of, engineering when it comes to giving us what we need. And if the Duo 3 is going to be buggy and have issues day one, I don't know how it's going to go. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.